Hello everyone, my name is EVOO and welcome to Cooking with the Koyas. If you're tuning in for the first time, feel free to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, as always, welcome back, always great to see you. Today we are going to make pasta carbonara with a twist. The twist is we're going to use a little bit of different ingredients, but the main ingredient is of course spaghetti. And I like to use a good quality spaghetti from Italy, and to make it a little extra special, I use a spaghetti alla chitarra. You could use any spaghetti that you like, but the spaghetti alla chitarra is made with, as you can envision, with guitar strings, for example, and then they roll the pasta over top of the strings, and it cuts through and it makes a different cut. It's got a different feel and a different taste. So that's what I'm going to use today, spaghetti alla chitarra. Let's get started. We're going to start off with bacon. Now the traditional, and I'm just putting it in a bone dry pan because we're gonna grab all the fats and juices from this bacon into this dish. So we're gonna lightly saute this. So the traditional spaghetti carbonara is made with guanciale. Guanciale is the cheek of a pork that's been cured. Now a substitute would have been pancetta. However, what I'm doing now is I'm going to make this with bacon, which is something that most people have readily available in their homes. So of course it's easy to find, and it makes for a fantastic dish. So we're gonna let this cook up for a few minutes. In the meanwhile, I've got my water here. So what I did is I put 4 liters of water. So I've got 4 liters of water brought to a boil. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a good 3 tablespoons of salt. We want this water to be salty like the ocean. So for 4 liters of water, I like to use 3 tablespoons of salt. Okay, so we're going to just let that stay warm while we cook our bacon. So you can see the juices are already starting, the fats are starting to come out already into our pan. Now the other different thing that we're going to use today is spinach. So I have already cooked the spinach. What I did was I got 1 large clove of garlic and I sliced it thin and then I diced it. And then what I did was, in the pan, I put enough olive oil in to cover the bottom of the pan. And then I added my garlic and I sauteed the garlic for up to about 60 seconds. Then what I did was I added my spinach, and when my spinach cooked down, it begins to wilt and cook down. Once it cooked down, I turned it and made sure it got covered with all that beautiful garlic olive oil mix. And then with a pair of scissors, I went and chopped it all up. And so it's nice little pieces of spinach. And I like to use baby spinach. Baby spinach seems to be less acidity. So, but again, any spinach will do. And here I used 11 ounces of spinach. And today I'm cooking for 2. So, okay, a couple general rules of thumb. We are going to cook, because we're cooking for 2, I'm going to use 200 grams of spaghetti. So basic rule of thumb is 100 grams of pasta per person. I'm cooking for 2, so 200 grams of pasta. For each 100 grams, you could use 2 to 3 strips of bacon, and I happen to be using a thick cut bacon, but you can use any bacon you want. And because you could use 2 to 3 per 100 grams, I just used 5 strips of bacon. I could have used 4, I could have used 6. It depends. You like more bacon, use more. You like less bacon, use less. I went right up the middle. 5 strips of bacon. And I cut them into like 1-inch little pieces here, because this is going to be part of our sauce and part of our pasta. So we're going to let this cook on a medium heat for about, another 4 minutes or so. So our spinach has already been cooked and it's cool. Our bacon is cooking. Our water is boiled. It's just on reserve. The other ingredient that we're going to use here is our 2 eggs. So again, 100 grams per person, 1 egg per 100 grams. I'm using 200 grams today, 2 people, 2 eggs. And because I'm using 2 eggs, I basically, with a fork, I just beat it a little bit, and then I added 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmigiano-Reggiano. And I just incorporated that into my egg mixture because this is going to make a creamy, creamy, creamy sauce. So we're going to put that aside because that doesn't go on until the very end. I'm just going to cook this for another couple minutes. Bring our water back to a vigorous boil, and we'll be in business real soon. So actually, I wasn't thinking, because while our bacon is cooking, we could be cooking our pasta. So here's my 200 grams of spaghetti alla carbonara, or alla chitarra. Spaghetti alla chitarra. Okay, we're just going to get that in there and bring it to a boil. And according to the package, this is going to take 14 minutes to cook. Typically, when it says 14 minutes, it typically means it's right at just at the al dente stage. So I'm going to let this come back to a boil. When it comes back to a boil, that's when you start the timing your time. So let it come to a good boil and then start your 14 minutes. Or depending on the pasta that you're cooking, whatever it says on the package, just follow those instructions. So we got about 5 minutes left. Our pasta is cooking up very nicely, very, very nicely. And I've just put the bacon on low just to keep it warm because it's definitely cooked, and you can see the nice little juices it's released, the fats here. That's going to add some extra flavor. Beautiful. And our spinach now, because I cooked it earlier, I've just got it on very, very low just to bring it up to, I don't want it really, really hot, but I'm just going to bring it up to temperature just so it's not cold going into our pasta. Okay, the timer went off. It's been 14 minutes. And let's just take a little sampling here. Perfect. Al dente. Absolutely perfect. All right. So we're going to turn the heat off on our bacon. Heat off on our pasta. And let's take our pasta and add it to our bacon dish. Oh yeah, don't worry about the little bit of clinging pasta water, because we're actually going to add a little bit of pasta water as well. Because that little bit of pasta water, will, with the starches built in there, is going to add some extra creaminess to our sauce. So, did we get all our pasta? There we go. One more noodle. There's another noodle in there, I think. Let's not waste anything. Okay, so there we go. Now, I mentioned we're going to add a little bit. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of pasta water. So again, for each 100 grams of pasta, you add 1 tablespoon. So I got 2 tablespoons of pasta water. So we've got 2 tablespoons of pasta water to 200 grams of pasta. So it is not on the heat. I took it, ooh, that's hot. I took the pasta off the heat. Just move that over a bit. And this is the key now. We're going to add our egg and Parmigiano-Reggiano mixture. And you don't want to do this overheat, because what will happen is your egg will turn into scrambled egg. So you have to take it off the heat and just give it a second or two before you add it. So now what we'll do is we'll add our egg mixture, I should say. I'm just going to get a spatula here and get all that egg and cheese mixture out. And again, the Parmigiano-Reggiano from Italy is the best. You could substitute with a pecorino romano as well, but you want a good quality cheese with this dish. And then once you've added your egg, toss it up vigorously. And you can see here the egg is cooking. It's cooking, but it's not cooking like a scrambled egg. If you put this in over heat, you would have actually had little chunks of egg in your spaghetti, and you don't want that. You don't want little chunks of eggs in your spaghetti. You want this creamy, see this nice creamy sauce? That's what you want right there. So the heat of the pasta is actually cooking that egg, but not to the point where it's scrambled. There we go. So now we're going to take our spinach and we're going to continue to toss. So this is just warm. It's not really hot. And again, ooh, we had some good thunder there. That startled me. It's raining outside, so what a great time to be cooking inside. All the more reason to be in the kitchen. We got a good rainstorm going out there right now, and that's okay. We needed it. My garden needs it. My herbs, my tomatoes, everything needs it. So it's nice to see the rain. There we have it right there. Absolutely beautiful. 30 minutes, start to finish. Phenomenal dinner with phenomenal flavors. And so very easy to do. Incredibly easy. And I like to just sprinkle a little bit more Parmigiano right on top. Oh boy, there we go. Time for the taste test. Oh my, what a dish. Just look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. You know what? Eating in restaurants is perfectly fine and great, but I'll tell you what, nothing beats being in the kitchen, cooking a fantastic meal. Oh yeah. And then enjoying it. I tell you what, if you like more bacon, add more bacon. Like less bacon, add less bacon. But this dish right here, absolutely delicious. You are gonna love making this dish, and even better yet, eating this dish. And if you've got company coming over, what a simple dish to put together. They will be very happy. I know I am. I want to thank you wherever you're tuning in from for joining us today on Cooking with the Koyas. Always great to be in the kitchen. Always great to see you. And until next time, buon appetito. Oh yeah, this is what it's all about right here.